Here's what I want you to know, that Jesus has a love for you that has no end. That when you blow it, he still brings his love. When you rise up and you're at your best moment and the crescendo moments where you're just elevating in all that you do, that's also the same moment. His love has no end. And that as this passage begins, it's this invitation into a love from God that has no end. See, I've had moments in my life when I have felt the limit that people had for me in their love. How about you? So there's been time after time, moment after moment, and I've been the one who has only been able to give a certain amount of love to others. But what I love about the person of Jesus, that he promises us there is no cap to his love. There is no end to his love. There is no limit to his love. And it says that he loved them to the end. And then Jesus knew that the Father had put all things under his power. See, this phrase right here is so key because it gives us an understanding and a posture of how Jesus interacted with the world when it came to power. It says that there was this moment of like revelation where Jesus fully understood that the Father had given him full power. And what does he do in the very same moment he realizes that all things are under his power? You know what he does? He wraps a towel around his waist and he chooses to serve. See, what do you do when you feel most powerful? What do you do when you feel elevated, when you feel you have the authority in the room, when you feel the magnetism of people who want to follow you? Do you hoard that power or do you use it to empower others? See, in this moment with Jesus, he's fully powerful. He's fully alive. And I can imagine his followers. This was the moment when Jesus knew that he was full of power. Okay, here's what we need to do. Now it's time to fight. Now it's time to take back what was ours. God, we're your chosen one. God, you're with us now. Now that you're full of power, now it's time to rise up. But when Jesus was full of power, that's not the moment he chose to rise up. It's actually the moment he chose to kneel down. And he said, I'm going to redefine power. I'm going to reshape character and humility. I want to give you a new picture of what it looks like to be full of power. I've been watching this show on Netflix about the Waco fiasco. It happened 30 years ago, and this cult leader named David Koresh, and it's been fascinating. One, I'm really fascinated with cult leaders. You know, if it's a documentary about a cult, I'm in. I hope that doesn't say anything bad about me. If it does, pray for me. I'm human. But I think it's so interesting with human psyche, and I always wonder, like, how do you fall for that, or why would you say yes to that? And this Waco fiasco, that rhymes too much, is this crazy moment where there's a standoff for 70 plus days, and it's really tragic, and way too many people die for no reason. But the moment I thought that was really interesting is there's all this footage of David Koresh talking about what they're going to do and why they're going to fight. And he said, I'm the Messiah. He thought that I'm the second coming. I'm God himself. And to show you that I'm God, to show you that I'm full of the divinity, this is what we're going to do. We're going to fight back because God told me that's what you do. You fight the government. You arm, right? They had enough weapons to like start a militia. And he said, this is why, because we need to fight back with guns, with weapons, with violence. And see, that should have been the first key where they knew that this guy is not connected to Jesus. But this is what we think. We think that when you get more power, it means you need to use it to actually have other people submit to your will. That when you're full of power, you have to fight. See, when Jesus was full of power, he did not think that he had to fight an army. He did not decide that now we're going to go back and we're going to destroy the Roman Empire. He did not think that there was a physical fight that required his power, because his fight was for the human heart. See, he was trying to help us see that the sickness that was killing us was from the inside out. And so he said, no, when I'm full of power, I'm going to show you what true power looks like. It looks like servanthood. I'm going to wrap a towel around my waist. And I'm going to get down on my knees. And I'm going to wash my disciples' nasty feet. It's like I spoke last week, and it was about feet, and I was reading again. It was like, feet 2 weeks in a row, Jesus. And there's nothing like beautiful about the physical nature of it. There's nothing divine about feet. It's nasty. But I think what God was trying to sear into our brains is that there should be no place that love will not take you. There should be no place that love has not changed you. And I want to be the type of person that when God entrusts me with power, it does not cause me to elevate, but it causes me to actually serve.